Heroes and villains always have the same backstory, pain. The difference is what they choose to do about it. Villain says, the world hurt me, I'll hurt it back. The hero says, the world hurt me, I'm not going to let it hurt anybody else. Heroes use pain, villains are used by it.
You need to love pain to be an athlete. And I know, no pain, no this, whatever, all the,
Correct.
Oh my, no, this is real. You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
Just shut up and let me enjoy this pain. I don't want anything to numb it. I don't want anything right now. Because what I had done was in my mind, I had just climbed a mental wall that was amazing. And I didn't want anybody to take that pain away from me at that point, because that was all confirmation. What it did was it showed me what is possible. And that's what set the new stage for me. That's when I realized, oh man, I've really been underachieving my entire life.
You guys have no idea. When you're hurt, how do you feel? You lay down, right? You take a second, you take your vitamins, you do your thing. When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain, because everything else, happiness could be fake, crying could be fake, but pain, shit, that's real.
The most important question to ask is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Anything worthwhile is going to require some degree of pain and struggle. So, if you're oriented toward the pain and the struggle, you're probably going to be more aligned with what you're capable of accomplishing rather than if you just orient toward the pleasures. Because we say, find the thing which you enjoy the most, but really what you're finding is, what is the pain you're prepared to swallow the most?
It is your losses that will humble you. It is your losses that will give you a drive. It is your losses that will allow you not to make the same mistake over and over again. You are not your past.
People want to know how to get permanent, lasting results. This shit's not easy. Some folks go from heavy to losing weight, back to heavy again. Some folks go from lazy to studs, back to lazy. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of folks take the 4-lane highway to get their results. The 4-lane highway is just that. It's the easy route. On that highway, they have road signs. 5 miles up, hotel. 10 miles up, restaurant. Restrooms, all that shit. It's an easy roadmap to success. Nothing there is permanent. But the other choice that makes permanent is the shovel. That the shovel leaves you with calluses on your brain, on your hands. They're permanent. Pick up the shovel, stay hard. So this morning my girl gets up and she uses the toothpaste. She throws it out. I go in the bathroom and use the toothpaste. Ask her where it's at, she's up this trash can. I go in there and get it. Flatten it out. Start rolling it up real tight. Show her, you got another week of toothpaste in this motherfucker. I don't waste shit. The bread, I use the heels. With the peanut butter, I cut that motherfucker and get all that shit out. Someone asked me one time, what's your biggest fear? My biggest fear was dying that 300-pound man. Never knowing I could be who I am today. A lot of us are wasteful, but we're wasteful of who we are in life. It's important to train that motherfucker. Pull that toothpaste out and get all you can out of yourself. Stay hard.
What you gotta do to get the life that God wants you to have, you gotta put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
And because of this terribleness, I now have something that I can run away from. and then like, rather than not looking at the knife or trying to take painkillers to not feel the pain, like completely sobering up, taking the knife and twisting it in your own heart and being like, I'm going to fucking do something about this. And I think that that's what the heroes, like if we're heroes in our own story, it's not avoiding pain, it's choosing from the very beginning the alchemy, which is like you have these terrible situations. It's like, and you have the opportunity to turn them into magic and skip or shortcut all the growth you're going to have in a really short period of time simply by twisting the knife and being like, I'm going to do something about it.
Nothing worthwhile is going to come without discomfort. Like, it's grind. It's grind that I care about, and it's grind that I can do that other people couldn't do.
It's like we're looking for cheese, but we have all these cat behind us, and all we have to do is look and remember that they're behind us and chasing us. If you have the cat and you're staying in your current situation, you're being used by the cat. This is terrible.
Pain is a motivator. Pain is not necessarily always bad. If you're in pain, it's going to motivate you to move, to change something.
If you dedicate your time and your focus, like realistically, with a professional, disciplined effort to creativity, you show up every day like a professional, but you show up to be creative. If you just do it on a regular basis, ideas will come to you. So every day, at the same time, you sit down in front of your keyboard and you start working and just put in the work and force yourself to do it. You force it like a muscle, like the same muscle that you develop when you go running every day. And then you get to the point where like 7 days in, you start feeling good running.
Right. So you start to feel like you're good at it.
You start feeling like you're getting better.
We believe we can become it. Without that belief, every journey will run into a debate. That debate is when pain starts to fill the body. You weigh the temporary pain versus a lifetime of pride. What are you gonna do? How bad do you want it? There's two options. To continue forward, pushing upward. And if you do, that dream is given birth. And forever you will live in the reality of it. If you stop, quit, throw in the towel, I promise you there's no distance you can travel far enough to ever find that dream again.
It's 44 degrees and it's nice and rainy outside. But no one cares about that. Not about the rain. It's what the rain represents. Life is always giving you a test. Trying to give you a way out. Trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This is my excuse today. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life. No matter what life throws at you. It's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for fucking battle. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. Take it upon yourself to do that. Stay hard.
If you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse. It's called the body weight beatdown. You don't need any weights for it. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need any barbells. You don't need any equipment. All you need is this motherfucker. That's your weight, your body weight. Last I looked, the person that finishes the race with their hand held isn't about the, how big they are, how tough they are, their potential. It's their perseverance. Meaning it's not about the dog that's in the fight. It's the fight within the dog. Well, yeah, it's a situation. I gotta go to work because I gotta pay the bills and support my family. But you know, it doesn't mean I have to shortcut my success in what I'm doing. I'll find a way to work this out.
Just go be different. You get paid to be different. People pay you to be different. Weird people make money. Regular people don't make money. Regular people make regular money. If God made you exceptional, go be exceptional at whatever it is. That's how you become. People pay for expertise. They pay for exceptional people. They don't pay regular people. If you focus in on being regular, you're gonna have a regular life. It's nothing wrong with that. But if you aspire to something more than regular, you got to go be extraordinary. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is one word: extra. If you put extra on top of ordinary, you become extraordinary. You ain't gotta be like everybody else.
So I've been grinding lately. Had to go back to the lab, readjust some in my brain, put a lot of miles in. Every day, run over 20 miles a day, getting up early, going to bed early, eating the right shit. This last week, started taking a toll on me. I usually don't think too much. Get my shoes on, head the f out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice has been talking to me, talking about, oh man, you're tired. Looking at my shoes about 30 minutes before I put the motherfuckers on. pushing back the time of that I go out to go run. So I decided to tape record myself. That internal voice I put on tape. Sound like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker. So if you ever have a hard time out there, tape yourself. Listen to what kind of bitch you're being. Stay hard.
No one who will ever be born will be identical to you. Most people who could ever exist will never even be born. We're the lucky ones. We're the ones who get to die because you only get to die for having lived. So no matter what your lot is in life, if you have a disease or you have cancer, you're crippled, whatever is the thing, at the end of the day, you're alive, not dead, nor not having ever been born. So take every occasion you can to drink in the sunsets and the sunrise and the majestic sky above you that they cradle through the nighttime hours, and celebrate life because you won the lottery. And most people will never even know there was a lottery.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success.
Like what you did by taking a job when you would show up at a gig and you'd be working there Tuesday through Sunday and then take a day job and work 9 to 5. That is more hustle and more hustle mindset than anything you're ever going to get out of an Anthony Robbins book. Like that is like just doing it. Just doing it makes you do more. Like do more hard shit makes you do more hard. Yeah. Understanding that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through. I'm going to work all day. I'm going to drive 5 hours and keep that radio gig, and then drive 5 hours and spend 10 hours of the 24. We were talking about mentality. I'm like, when you went through Buds, do they teach you how to think, or do they show you by example? They don't teach you how to think. They just show you, they harden you.
I wake up every single day, I am who I say I am, and I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Y'all gotta do me a favor, stop being gazelles. You're not average. There's nothing about you that's average. You're not even good. You were born to be great. You were born to be great. You are a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. You're not average. You're not good. You're great.
What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forgo? Because a lot of people, like this guy came in one time, I was a trainer, and he goes, man, I can stop doing anything but my frappuccinos. I go, and leave. Because I'm looking for that person like me. People, it's hard for people to understand how I lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. I sat down at the table and I said to myself, what are you willing to give up? And when people come to me with that kind of mindset, I can work with you. When you are willing to strip yourself down to nothing and give everything, that's who I want to work with. Because now I can mold you into exactly who you want to be.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. Fuck all the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future. You do the work now. Do the work now. And all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere. It's time to stay focused, man.
Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing, not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. and I'm loving it. I'm loving that where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger.
When I was in the military, we go on these instructor-led runs. Most of the time we knew the start and end point. So on the way back, I start seeing people getting happy and shit because the end was near. But there were some asshole instructors that would hear the happiness and go right on past the end point. When that happened, everybody stopped talking. Heads would start dropping. And I started taking fucking souls. At that time, I knew what happened in their minds. They were living off the hope factor. They hoped the instructors would stop running. They hoped the water was never cold. They hoped the weather was fucking good. I don't live off that hope shit. I wish the water was cold.
God created you to be great, so be phenomenal, or you will. Ever take school serious, if this kid ever get focused, if this kid ever uses his gift, if this kid comes out of this mental fog that he's in, if this kid would realize that he's a royal priesthood, a chosen generation, if this kid ever got connected with his dream, he would be dangerous.
You have the right, no matter who they are, when they causing you hell, you have the right to tell them no. You have the right to cut them off.
That's what it takes. To do anything successfully in life, you've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it that bad, if you're willing to give it that much, you get a big piece of what you want. And life and dreams do come true. Anything you want can happen and become a reality. I believe that sincerely, and I'll die on that thought, okay?
It's time to decide clubs, partying, trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it.
I've had in my career, I've been to over 200 pitch meetings to pitch ideas in Hollywood. Out of those 200, they have picked 5 of them. 200 meetings, 200 show ideas, they've picked 5 of them. But you know what them 5 was? Hits. In 33 years, 5 ideas got picked. All I need is 5 hits. That's all. So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got 2 out the way. What's gonna happen is if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit. A baseball player gets paid millions and millions of dollars for a 300 batting average. That means out of every 10 times he goes to the plate, he only hits the ball 3 times. They're millionaires. They only hit it 3 times.
You have the right to take care of your mental and emotional health. You have the right, and I don't feel bad about it. You have the right to be happy. You have the right to be wealthy. You have the right to have a good relationship with your baby. You have the right to have great friendship. You have the right not to live check from check. You have the right to buy whatever home you want. God gave it to you. He said, I'll bless you, and after I bless you, are you ready to get what's yours?
This morning I woke up with a slack-jawed, poopy pants mentality. I've been traveling an awful lot, kind of wore down a little bit. I believe in taking days off. I think days off are real important for recovery and all that stuff. But I don't believe in taking days off because your mentality is just feeling sorry for yourself. I deserve this, or I've earned that mentality. And that's what I was saying to myself. Today's self-talk was horrible. So we have, we all have one voice, and that one voice is very powerful. That says, hey, you've earned this, you deserve this, take time off, all that stuff. Start developing the other voice that fights that voice. When it's not a designated day off, I don't care if it's running, swimming, biking, studying. If it's not a day off, don't take a day off. And start developing that voice that fights the weaker voice.
Get up! Act like you playing basketball. Act like you playing football. Compete! That's what bothers me. Many of y'all are not competing. I need effort. Compete! Go to class. I just left for school telling these kids, act like you playing football. Go in that doggone classroom. Compete! Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. I'm not against no other motivational speaker. I'm just competitive. And I remember when I was putting in work and I wasn't getting the checks. You're putting in work, and just because you can't see the results, you want to quit or give up. I ain't never quit. I ain't never give up. I ain't never give in. I just kept grinding. You putting in the work, and the only reason you pissed, the only people that don't break through is the people who scoreboard watch.
It's painful to understand how much of what you're doing isn't productive. It's like, okay, 6 hours a day. It's 42 hours a week. So let's call that a work week, 40 hours a week. So that's a work week. Let's say, what's your time worth? You're a university student. Well, it's certainly worth minimum wage, because obviously, but it's worth way more than that. If you spend a productive hour when you're 20, then you gain the benefits of that hour for the rest of your life. So there's the compounding effect of time spent when you're young. So I say, well, let's assume your time's worth $50 an hour, which I think is an underestimate, but whatever. Let's call it 50. That's $2,000 a week you're wasting. It's $100,000 a year. It's like, how much better would your life be if you weren't wasting $100,000 a year? It's like, what is that over 40 years? $4 million. It's like, you're rich. You don't even know it. Quit wasting time. By your own definition. It's like people shake their heads. Like, oh, I never thought about it that way. It's like, yeah, think about it that way.
I'm not saying it's easy, man. But the results you get, you're gonna love them, man. It's gonna make all the sweat equity, all this pain right now, all worthwhile. The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now, it's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain. You just remember, like, the glory and the good times. When I was going through West Point, you know, or Ranger School, man, there were some really dark hours, dark days, and dark years in my life, man. But looking back on it, I mean, I just remember the good people and the good times. I don't remember all those fucking, you know, times where I was just so fucking done and worn out. I don't remember that. I just remember that I made it through it. You know, and that exhilaration of pride and achievement, man, that outweighs all the pain, struggle, you know, and that sweat equity to get there. It really does, as long as you get there. Pain is temporary, pride's forever. That's what they're talking about. Because if you push through the pain to achieve the pride, you forget about the pain was ever even there. But if you can't push through the pain and the pain stops you and breaks you down, well, then that pain is forever. Because you never got pride right past pain. It's forever pride, man. You all love that, don't we?
Gee, why you always on beast mode? I'm shocked more people are on beast mode. There are people who living from check to check and they comfortable. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, boo, you broke. And you broke on several levels. We're not talking about Sally Mae. You need to cash your grandma out. Listen to me, unless you number one in your industry, you shouldn't be chilling. And if you number one in your industry, you got enough common sense to know you better not be chilling. I fought too long. I fought too hard. If I was going to quit Satan, you should have got me at 17, homie. You should have broke me a long time ago. I'm unbreakable now. So here's my big problem with a lot of y'all is your belief system is off. Like, everybody can see how sweet you are. People are commenting on, you could do this and you could do that, and you the only one ain't caught up with it yet. I don't sleep in. If I slept in, it's because I worked so hard the day before that I was tired and I couldn't get up at 3 o'clock. But best believe, by 4:15 I was up. I wasn't up late watching no movie. What do you need to motivate you? Are you not enough? Is your potential not enough? Is your greatness not enough? There's no way I'm not gonna be successful because my motives are pure. There's nothing that can stop me because my motives are pure. And the purer your motives are, that you guarantee yourself success. There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking they are, and stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. Because the day they leave, it's gone. But if you work for it, it's yours forever. I will fly first class forever. I will stay in certain type of hotels forever. Not because I'm big time, I paid for it.
A lot of days I'm like, oh, you can't do this, Tom. You can't be as quick as a 30-year-old on the computer. Bullshit! Let me show you. I mean, I would have arguments with myself. I could do it. People doubted me. I doubted myself sometimes too. But you know what? I watched Arnold fall down. Nobody remembers when he fell down. Arnold wasn't the glorified winner as he was in the first 70 through 75. He got up and became a famous film star. He became governor. He kept getting up and getting up. I saw Trump do the same thing. I saw a lot of these guys I admired in business do it.
Is this stronger than your dreams? And do you put as much time and attention into your dreams as you do your fears? That makes sense to you guys?
And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. You compromised. You compromise. You let your anger make you say something that you didn't really want to say. You let the fact that you was lonely. You got lonely. You did stuff that you know you probably wouldn't do. Some of you have sold your greatness and your destiny for a couple dollars. That belonged to you. My mother never understood, but she's working for me now. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder when people didn't support. See, what Mike Tyson did was, Mike Tyson won before he fought.
Don't waste your damn life. And then you think, well, why would people be resistant to that message? It's like, well,
so many people think all day long on what they're scared of. Why do we think that way? Why are we always thinking about the fears, the worst case scenario? All we do is put all that energy in there. Why don't we put the energy into the dreams that can be? The reason why you're doing that, if you are putting all that time and effort into fears instead of your dreams,
you really want to wake up and figure out that you're wasting half your life. And you know, when people do that kind of wasting, they actually hate it. You know, and I've had lots of people come to my clinical practice who were chronic procrastinators. You know, and so they're watching YouTube videos, say, but not ones that are good for them, browsing in that kind of mindless way that you do when you're not paying attention and you're trying to kill time. People doing that, they feel bad, they get depressed, they feel anxious, they can't get away from it, they feel kind of quasi-addicted. There's this feeling of kind of internal rot and corruption that goes along with it. It's like, yeah, well, you're wasting your life. It's like, so it's painful. It's painful to recognize that. Then it's painful to think, oh my God, look how undisciplined I am. I don't know anything. I can't use a schedule. I can't stick to a calendar. I don't have any aims. I don't know anything about the world.
You don't win a fight when you fight. You win it. If you a beast, you win the fight before the fight. Soon as they hit the bell, Mike came out, boom, boom, boom. Over, done. I need y'all to come out so doggone strong that when teams come on the field, come on. Don't just say it. Lock the gate. Don't just say it. Get to the point this season that when they come out on the field, they're like, we don't even want to do this. You better grind, because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Whatever it is, you'll be stuck there. Coach, you putting in all this work to be 10 and 20? I'm saying we got to practice anyway. Why don't we win? We gotta go to school anyway. We gotta get on the plane anyway. We gotta get on the bus anyway. We gotta sweat anyway. Why not be the #1 motivational speaker in the world? I gotta do it anyway. Why don't I get something for it? You don't punish yourself, it's never gonna happen. You don't punish yourself. Somebody said, E, you losing weight. I punish myself. I don't eat meat no more. That's a punishment. Because I remember when I was eating meat, I didn't look like this. You gotta hear what I'm saying. The reason why you broke is because you're getting a reward and you ain't working.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Not even yourself.
How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it.
Right, and maybe there's a part of me that's bitter because I haven't got everything already, and I'd just like to say, to hell with it. That's the recognition of the Jungian shadow. It's like that's what makes you vicious and untrustworthy. All of that. No one wants to look at that, and no bloody wonder. Hey, the alternative is worse.
You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns and sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your fucking ass and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much fucking pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it.
If you want it, you gotta go get it. Some of y'all got this concept of what you want to accomplish. You know, some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. If you want it, you gotta go get it.
You cannot take away the fact that Eric Thomas was here. They gave me an opportunity. They gave me a shot. Somebody gave me a GED. I turned that GED into a 4-year degree. Somebody gave me a 4-year degree. I turned it into a master's degree. Somebody gave me a master's degree. I turned it into a PhD. You got the opportunity. What you doing with it? Opportunity is coming. Will you be ready when it comes? We can leave here tonight. You can take me to a church. I'll give you another hour. You can't do it. Don't put your limitations on me. I'm dead to your limitations. Your limitations don't exist in my world. Those are your limitations. Keep them. Go home, watch them on TV. Go home, read the newspaper about it. Go home and look in the mirror. Go home, call your homeboy, and y'all talk about your limitations. I ain't got none.
I'm back, God, I'm back! What the hell are we all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we had this big old rucksack on the back. Had batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're the least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the f up and do it. Stay hard.
Like, I'm 54 years old right now. Like that. I mean, it just flew by.
Yeah.
And you think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, you know, there is no tomorrow, from Rocky 3. You know, there is no tomorrow. That let's get all this done today.
What are you willing to sacrifice, and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that.
It's because you're not doing this enough. You're not in here killing yourself enough. You're not working hard enough. You're not studying hard enough. You don't think about second place. You think about first, and then the legacy, and building the gap between you and every other fucking person. You know, but unless you go through this shit, there's no value in first place. You haven't put enough time on the job, enough effort. You haven't sacrificed enough to know what the value of that fucking title means. Here, we either give birth to our fear, or we blaze the path of our dreams.
My strength is in what? Talking. There's an energy that I produce when I talk. So when my man from the league just hit me up, when I talk, if something came out, it was so pop. My man like, let's go. That's my strength. Ain't no strength when I text something. But I've let the external millennial generation make me something I'm not. I'm a talker. That's my strength. I don't write. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I didn't mean to, but I had lost control. And when I speak, every time I open my mouth, it creates opportunities. So I ask you to name the 3 top people in our life, because I'm afraid some of you ain't got enough gas on your own. You just don't have it. I'm just being real. Some of you don't have enough gas to just get up and do what you're supposed to do. You just don't. You're just not that disciplined. You don't have the gas to come to class when you're supposed to come to class. You just don't have it. You just don't have it. You get a test and you're just scared. You don't want to take the test. Your anxiety start coming. You just don't have enough gas to do it. Some of you have sold your greatness and your destiny for a couple dollars. And what I'm doing now, I was doing 20 years ago, and I have not been. I didn't break. So what? You don't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So what? You don't see my greatness. So what? You don't understand how I do what I do. This is what I've been called to.
What statement are you making? The psychology of savagery. I wasn't the best runner, but what I did was I found the work schedules out of my competition, and I made sure they saw me running day and night. I tried to get in their fucking heads. I got a video the other day of this UFC fighter, Ferguson. This motherfucker weighs in, and the UFC is fucking canceled. He wasn't just weighing in. He was getting the fucking head of his opponents. What he did was this. He wanted you to remember his fucking hands and elbows slice you the fuck up. Remember this. Stay hard at all times. Savagery.
And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. They gave me an opportunity. They gave me a shot. Somebody gave me a GED. I turned that GED into a 4-year degree. Somebody gave me a 4-year degree. I turned it into a master's degree. Somebody gave me a master's degree. I turned it into a PhD. You got the opportunity. What you doing with it? Opportunity is coming. Will you be ready when it comes?
Where the f you going through? Those scars in your brain we don't talk about. We hide. Scarring is proof that our past is real. But the one thing we do is we allow it to control our lives. And we get off the log. Well, it's time to get back on the log and not have those scars define the rest of your life. Sometimes you gotta fight pain with pain. Stay hard.
Yeah, the time when you're young, when you're having fun, is so fleeting.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden responsibilities stack up. And all of a sudden, you have to pay bills. You have obligations. You have so much that you have to think about.
Yeah.
For so many people, there's this period of their life where they look back to whimsically. Like, that was the time when I was free.
Yeah.
I was young.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. In the corporate life and in the gym. But if you want something bad enough,
most things are actually significantly easier than people think they are. They just don't know how to try hard. Because the harder that you try, the easier it gets. And so it's like, if you can just learn to love what trying hard feels like, then all of a sudden it becomes unreasonable that you can't win. If you were to say, what would it take for somebody to be unreasonably good, that it would be impossible for them to not be a top 1% salesman or a top 1% content creator, and you said, what would that person need to do? Irrelevant from outcome, what would be the actions or evidence that they would have to do prior to that thing that would make it unreasonable that they couldn't succeed? And then you do those things, what happens is you realize that it's actually not that hard because you put so much work into it, and the bar from other people working is so embarrassingly low that they then ask you how you did it, and it must be easy.
How to not be so lazy, how to be motivated, how to get it done, and how to like find the correct path and think about things correctly. And so I that's what I'm really got. What it's all about is just getting your shit together and moving. Just go do something.
So the reason why I asked you to write down 3 people you love, because what I want you to do for me today is I want you to stop thinking about you when you think about school, and I want you to start thinking about them. What? God said, I gave you energy, son. I gave that to you, but you ain't got no control. You already know if you say something to your wife, it could be 24 hours or 40 hours before she talks to you. You know that, and you don't want that, but you can't control your dog or mouth. You do not have dominion, son. Get dominion. And most of you in this room, you got some vices that you have absolutely no dominion over. You get that right button pushed, and you just back at it. And God said, no, baby, I can't take you to the highest height Because if I take you up there and the button is pushed and you start acting a fool, you represent me.
Never forget to train your mind. In life, a lot of us work our ass off, trying to get to a better place. A place that makes us feel better about ourselves. Some people want to do ultra races. They're starting to PR during training. Some people want to be a lawyer or a medical student. So they're taking these practice tests and they're crushing the practice test. But guess what happens? Once you get to the actual event, your mind isn't ready. Your mind's not prepared. You've been studying, you've been training, you've been working out, but your mind's not prepared. Story for you. When I was 19 years old, I was going through the Air Force trying to be a pararescueman. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, swimming. I was doing all this knocking out of the park. One of the best in the class. But the second the obstacle got in my way, I wasn't prepared for it mentally. I was a beast. All I was doing was I was training a bigger, stronger, faster quitter. You gotta train your mind for all obstacles that might get in your way. Stay hard.
Somebody, you ain't got no standard. That's why you can't blow up. There's a certain level you can't get to when you keep compromising. You can't get to the next level because every time somebody draws something in front of your face, you give up. Don't you know you more attractive when you can say no, when they know you got values? You think you just gonna change the game. You just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
When he said, I have a dream, he already had a wife. When he said, I have a dream, he already had children. When he said, I have a dream, he had already won the Nobel Prize. When he said, I have a dream, he had already met with the president. When he said, I have a dream, he was already one of the most influential people on the planet. When he said, I have a dream, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about you and I.